back and look at the bigger picture and see where the problem lies. Nowadays, there is a lot of disrespect for the elderly, discrimination against them, and even neglect of the elderly, especially of parents. When we look back deep into our history, we see that in ancient societies, parents were respected, elders were respected more generally, and this respect survives in many of the religious teachings of the world. In Confucianism, for example, there is great emphasis on filial piety, and as part of that broader picture of filial piety, there is the emphasis on the rights and respect that we should afford our parents and elders in general. Among the indigenous peoples of Canada, there is great respect for elders. The elders are seen as the source of knowledge and for the transference of tradition from one generation down to another. But with modern societies, we see that there is a great emphasis not on tradition but on innovation, and also not on age but on youth. And youth is prized, and ageism sets in, where people are being discriminated against because of their age. And often you will find that what is celebrated as, perfect moments in life, like, for example, vacationing on a beach in the Bahamas, for example, you will see, young people, jumping, surfing, swimming, and so on, but old people tend to be out of the picture. So the younger generation is growing up with this sense that, for life to be enjoyable, like, we must all be surrounded by other youth. It's like, parents, older people, out of the picture. So how does Islam come in to make a difference in this regard? So as a solution, Islam prescribes that we are to respect our parents. The 17th chapter of the Quran, the 24th verse, as an example of this, says, among many other verses, that we are to respect our parents. This one in particular says that if one of them or both of them should achieve old age in your presence, you are not to say a word of contempt to them, but rather you to lower before them the wings of humility and submission, and you are to pray for them, saying, "My Lord, have mercy on them as they used to care for me when I was small, when I was little, when I was a baby, when I was an infant." And this chapter of the Quran, Surah 17, is very strong on monotheism. So it starts by saying you're to have no other for God except the one true God, and then right after that, honor your parents. Several other verses of the Quran emphasize especially our duty to our mothers, because our mothers bore us in one situation of difficulty after another and nursed us for a period, the maximum which is 2 years. So all of this shows that we are to respect our parents, and we are to have mercy on them and compassion. A hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has him reportedly saying that you are to be kind to your mother, and then again to your mother, and then again to your mother, and then your father, which means that there is a triple emphasis on the companionship that you should have for your mother, and then, of course, some emphasis on your father as well, and parents more generally, we can say. In terms of elders, the hadiths have it that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that one who is not respectful to the elders and kind towards the youngsters is not one of my community. Pretty strong words. And in another hadith, he praised gray hairs. He said that we should respect the person who has gray hairs, like mine, you see. And he even is mentioned. It's mentioned that he said that on the day of judgment, the gray hairs will be a light for us. So we want to have more light. So that shows respect for grayness. Whereas sometimes we see that the person can no longer appear in their favorite television program that they have hosted for so many years, because now they have become gray. And Islam takes a different approach towards this question of age, and gives preference to people of age because they have experience. And not that I'm, saying I have any, but if it comes to leading the prayer, for example, if all things are equal with all the qualifications matching, the person with greater age will be selected as leader of prayer. Now, all of this makes good sense, and it's a perfectly good reason for us to be Muslim, because it makes us be part of a system that brings about the results that we would like to see in our old age. So in modern times, when we find that people are neglected in their old age, maybe they're cared for. All kinds of systems are being put in place to ensure that people in their retirement years will have a good income. There is supplemental income, there is social security and all of that. But people need more than this. People need companionship, especially parents. They crave the companionship with their children that they have loved since their children were born, even before the children were born. And now in their old age, the children have grown up, they've become youth, and they've become adults having children of their own, busy with their own lives. Yes, they might give some money, they may send flowers, they may send a Mother's Day card, but what is really needed is not only the financial support, but also the physical companionship. One needs to be there, be present, listen to the stories of the parents, talk with them, show them your love, and spend quality time with them. So if we do this, we make the world a better place. We become better persons ourselves by contributing to the happiness of our parents and to elders in general.